Hey guys, Michael here with the dailynote.net, and today I want to talk about keeping old smartphones and the precautions you should take if you decide to do so. So in front of me I have the trusted Samsung Galaxy Note 2. This was the first phone I started making videos with, and I still have it with me. I have all my old devices, and it's becoming quite the chore of maintaining these batteries in optimum condition so I could keep it for a long time, but actually do it, and I want to share those tips with you. So this phone, right, you could look inside here. If you take out the battery, it's a lithium ion battery, and it says it's 3.8 volts. So usually a lithium ion battery is encased in a metal enclosure, and I believe there's also something that goes underneath it so that it's airtight. So when you charge it and you discharge it, right, maybe at the optimal voltage, maybe it's somewhere around like 4 volts. And when you discharge it all the way down to 0, which you probably shouldn't do, you should try to make sure you have some juice left before you start charging it. But yeah, the lowest it'll go, even at 0%, is probably going to be somewhere around like 3.2 volts. Here's what happens when you leave it discharged for too long and it dips below even 3.0. So, and you know, these voltage numbers are specifically for this battery, and I'm kind of just ballpark guessing what the safeguard voltages are. But this battery, for example, say that it gets below the threshold, and I'm going to guess it's 3.0 volts. There's a chip inside here. There's probably a chip on the top here, like a really simple chip that reads the voltage and gives you the okay to start charging this device. And when it dips below that, say you put it at 0% and then you kind of just left it alone for like a year or two, could actually get below 3.0, maybe 2.6 or 2.5 or even lower than that. And the lower the voltage gets, there's a little bit of liquid in here, and what happens is gas starts forming inside here, and it's airtight. So you might actually start seeing some bubbling of the battery, and what usually happens here. So this other battery that I have, this battery here, you could see a slight bulge, and this battery is definitely bad, and it shouldn't let me charge it, and I'm not going to even try. But you know, when you try to look at it, maybe it might not be that apparent, but if you try to spin it, you could see that this battery is spinning very freely here, and this is not the most smoothest surface. But if you try to spin these other batteries, you see that it's not spinning at all. So you should definitely discard this battery, and most likely you cannot even use it. But there are cases where the battery has developed some gas inside, and you can kind of trick it to start charging it, and people, you know, may even continue to use it in this compromised state. And that's when it gets dangerous, right? The battery, right, it has gone beyond the point of no return yet. You know, this system is defeated, right? As long as the voltage is okay, it's not going to know that the battery is bad. You could only visually see that the battery is bad. So definitely do like a visual check, and you could definitely try spinning it if you suspect something is wrong. And if you see that it has bubbled up a little bit, just discard it. And one thing I want to discuss is, just because the battery is bubbled, it does not mean that it's going to explode. The fact that the battery is bubbled probably means that you know, the voltage has become really low and it has become chemically unstable, and that's why it's developed a gas. So the voltage is low, meaning the energy inside of it is low too. Now, you'll see some videos online where a battery literally explodes when they stab it. Well, one thing they don't tell you in those videos is those batteries are fully charged. Maybe they even overcharge it to make a sensationalized video, but this battery definitely will explode when it's at 100% and you stab it with a knife. But a lot of those videos online also, the ones where they have like a brick of lithium ion battery and it produces this spectacular flame shooting out the side. A lot of those videos are made by highly overcharging those batteries. So something to keep note of: just because you have a bubble battery does not mean it's a grenade. It's most likely safe to handle. Just don't try charging it, right? All right, so let's go throw this battery away. All right, so hopefully you got a little preview of all this gear in here to shoot this video. Maybe I'll talk about all the equipment that I'm using to make this video. So anyways, so let's talk about keeping old smartphones just really quickly. So I would say if you want it to be very diligent and you want to keep your device as long as possible and your battery as healthy as long as possible, they say, well, the recommended guide is to check these batteries every 3 months and charge it to 70%. So one easy way to that you're going to be able to charge it to 70% is you put it inside the phone, wait until it is at about 70%, and you unplug it. Now if you kind of leave it alone and it charges to 100%, it'll be fine, right? It's much better than keeping it at 0. And I believe there might be even an app. Oh yeah, there's this app called, I believe, AccuBattery. I'm using it on my current phone right now, called the Galaxy, or the app is called AccuBattery. Let me see if I could find it in here. Yeah, AccuBattery. And you could actually set, when you go to charging, could actually set where it notifies you. Say you only want to charge it to 70%. I believe you could bring this down. And well, it's not perfect. I don't know why. Oh, okay. So yeah, you could set it to 70. And it's going to give you a little bit of like a beep or alarm, or it's going to start vibrating when you hit 70%. I don't think it's going to stop charging it. It's not that sophisticated and it doesn't have those controls. But what you can do is you could install this on the phone that you want to keep. And I generally just like using this app, and it doesn't really seem to be draining much of the battery either, but it keeps history of my charging, like what do you call it? If this battery starts to degrade, it's gonna be able to graph that actually. But I don't want to get too off topic. Check out that app, AccuBattery, even on the current phone that you're using. But for old phones, install it so that you get notified when you can stop charging at 70%. And do that every 3 months. Now, that's a hard number for me, and actually, I'm not that diligent. But I will do this at least once a year, probably twice a year. So I'm averaging at about 6 months. I'll bring out all my old smartphones and all the batteries that have come with it, and I'll make sure that I charge all of them to around 70%. Some I might go a little bit over, some might go a little bit under, but at around 70% should be fine. So if you're a person like me and you like keeping old devices, I don't know, for nostalgia, or maybe you just don't like the fact that you need to sell it, you could only sell it for about maybe $50 when you paid $700 for it and you don't want to do that, it's not worth it to you, then you should definitely take the time because it's going to be worth your while. And I was surprised to find the bulged battery in my collection of smartphones and batteries. So anyway, if you like this video, maybe drop a like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.